Good morning. Welcome. It's great to welcome people to the session and to welcome people back. For those of you who were with us in the spring session, it's nice to be back and to be doing a full day session as well. My name is Unger. I'm the director of University College, and I'll do just a few brief remarks, and then I'm going to ask Anne to come up and we'll do a live introduction, and we'll also do a bit of the cooking stuff as well. But I want to just say something very briefly, which is setting the stage for today. I think my hope, which is what we'll accomplish, is to really work on building connections, building a network, and really thinking about the opportunities for collaboration that will come out of our connections today. I certainly walked away from the spring session with a stronger set of connections and people that I could vote and do some very specific work. And we're looking in sessions for some really specific outcomes. I was thinking back to my own arrival here. I've been working for the university staff for 12 years, and I moved to our academic center from the campus. I worked at a two-year college in student services, and I did that for many, many years. Had really deeply rooted collaborative relationships on that campus. Was very excited about coming to Midcoast. And I think my one hesitation, my one question mark was, I'm going to be in this organization with only one other professional staff person. I'll be the only person assigned to doing what I'm doing. Will I feel isolated working in an academic outreach center away from the campus? And that worry very quickly got put to rest. And it was very hard from an outside point of view to really see what goes on, which is, in this kind of region, that opportunity to collaborate outside of our organization is probably much stronger because our organizations tend to be leaner, smaller, more thinly staffed, and so that opportunity to reach outside. I also realized, though, that it took more time, more initiative, more energy, that the idea that you could just pop next door to a colleague's office or quickly work closely with a series of colleagues who are literally in your building. It's quite different than the effort of driving across town, or in the case of Midcoast, driving much further than across town to connect regionally with our partners. But I also know what those dividends are, and I think the goal of today is to really reinforce some of those, strengthen those connections as well. And with that as a backdrop, a master collaborator,
Thank you. I am really excited to see you all here today. I know how hard it is to take a day out, a full day out, and your here is evidence that you think that what we're going to do today is important, and I really think. And I think I coined a new term in my head this morning, a collaborative holic. And my name is Fensie, and I am a collaborative holic. I love collaborating because I love solving problems. And there's so much about this region of Maine that I love and I'm passionate about. I grew up here, I moved away, came back here. That's the whole story of so many people my age. And I am heartbroken by a lot of changes, too, and a lot of what could be or could not be in the future. So I'm hoping that we can make some positive changes. And I really love coming up with new ideas and trying out new things and seeing if it works. And growing up as a musician, I think of myself as a pretty creative person. But I can only be so creative by myself. And I've worked with so many of you in this room, and I am so grateful for the conversations, the work that we've done together, because when I'm in the room with someone else, it's like at home. Our brains just get so much more fired up. We get so much more creative. We get so much more resources. So the origin of the Midcoast Skilled Workforce Forum, and this is our second one, the origins happened in April at the State Adult Education Directors Conference, focused on career pathways. And Dennis and I were sitting at the same table together, and all these different organizations and industries and sectors were quoted about who's important in career pathways, who needs to be at the table. And, you know, we did the old, raise your hand if you're from adult ed, raise your hand if you're from community college, raise your hand if you're from business. And it was interesting to look around the room and see who was present and who wasn't present. And Dennis and I were thinking, what would happen if we got all of those people in the same room together? We could all just sit down and talk, and we could come up with ideas, and we could share, you know, why can't you do this for my client? You know, I thought you could do this because we both have the same goal. Oh, well, no, that's because you're bound by those restrictions for that grant that you have to report to. Or, you know, we only serve this service area because legislatively we have to do blah, blah, blah. So it's really important for us to get all of that out, because it comes down to it, we're not selfish people looking out for our own organization. We're really all doing our jobs with love. And frankly, if you look at most of our salaries, yeah. There's got to be a reason why we're doing it. We're not doing it for the big bucks. So we thought if we could get all these people together, we could really get something done, and not just let's throw out all these great ideas, because there were a lot of great ideas that day, and that there are no names attached to them, no dates attached. And that, if you do that enough, that can get pretty disheartening and frustrating. And it makes you feel like not going out of the office to go to one more thing where we all talk about the same frustrations and the same great ideas, and nothing happens. So we're really going to make you work hard today. We're going to make you step outside and what you normally do, and actually, you've got a homework assignment. Well, not homework, you got to do it in a session. You actually have to come up with something with an action, a name, and a deadline. And if you notice back there, we have 12 different sessions. So there are going to be 12 different actions coming out of the day. And it could be as large as, you know, let's collaborate on putting a new center together. Or it could be as small as, you know what, I send out this email newsletter once a month on these topics. Give me your email address and I'm going to add you to it. So it could be in a whole range of different things. But we still want to have an action happen, because we do get lost in our daily lives, and working together is one way that we're going to continue to move forward in our combined goal of raising educational attainment of the workforce area. I am happy to see a really broad, diverse group of people here from different industry sectors, organizations, and agencies. If you look around the room, are there familiar faces? Yeah. Okay. Anyone know less than half of the people in the room? We're going to exclude Madison. You're forgetting you knew to the area. And most of the data because he's an instructor, and instructors never get to get out of the classroom and go through these things. So I'm really excited to have David here today. So the rest of you, yeah, you already know a lot of each other. So we don't want to waste time with giving your spiel to the general audience. We want to get down to the meat of it, and I know that a lot of you brought some really great materials too. A couple of housekeeping things. If you did notice back on that table, we purposely didn't give you any really clear directions on all of that. I love the organic nature of what happens in groups, especially with great minds in a room. So on each table is one of the 4 sessions of today, and there are 3 choices each one. And everyone was given labels so that you can sign up for which session you'd like to go to. And hopefully we got an even distribution between 3 sessions, because we don't want 3 people in a room. There's not that much that can happen there. A lot can happen, but a whole lot more can happen if you have 8 or 10 people in it. So we'll give you some time during break sessions before we go up to our sessions to go and check your sex label, your extra, and go and make a change if you do. There are refreshments back there. Those will be here all morning. There's one little bathroom down the hall, but if you didn't see them at the top of the stairs, there are bathrooms up there. We've got our exit right here. And the format of the day will start with us here together as a group. We'll have some discussions led by persons who will have and also have experience with statewide, industry-wide initiatives. And then we're going to break out into small groups and really get some work done. I'm really excited that we have connected live via internet through WebEx. We are going to be recording this morning's session. And Mark Harmon from KBCC is joining us on the computer this morning. Hi, Mark. The video? Yeah, it does take a while. It's only a webcam, so the video is not that great quality. But at least you can hear us. Debbie and Walt will be doing it as well from Iraq. So that's just one example of the kinds of things that we can start thinking about, how do we make collaborations happen. So after that morning session, we will then go upstairs, and there are 3 classrooms that we'll be using, and I'll take the time to hang them outside of the room that you'll be going to. It's not that big of a building, you can't get lost, so I'm not going to bother telling you which room number and all that, because you get confused. So then we'll have one session upstairs, and then we'll come downstairs and have lunch, and then we'll have 3 more sessions upstairs, and then we'll come down and we'll have another group discussion to see, all right, did we accomplish that, what we wanted to today, and what were some interesting things that happened. So the agenda on there does show time frames on them. I hope we can kind of stick pretty closely to those, because I did cushion in there some extra networking time, 15 minutes between each session, so that you could feel free to really grab somebody and say, okay, look at your calendar. What's a good time that we can call each other or talk with them? So any questions on the format so far right now? We'll figure it all out as we go along.
I do have a question. If they're either in the packet already, or I'm going to have one of those listed those around where we can contact information.
Yes.
So people can hook up with you.
Yep. It is in the packet. And I'll give you a little highlight of what is in the packet. On the right side, you've got your agenda. You've got some instructions for the small group sessions, the worksheet group sessions, an evaluation, and then a contact us if everyone has something. And on the left side, there's some FYI stuff. There's a fact sheet about education and workforce in Maine. There's an interesting article from the Department of Labor on healthcare sector, and then there's some biographical information about our guest speakers tonight. So, without any further ado, I'd like to get started with our guest speaker this morning. We will be having 2 guest speakers and a moderator who will do more than just keep time and say, you next and you next. Our moderator this morning is Rosa Ladonic from the University of Maine System. She's the Executive Director of Affairs. And if you don't know who she is, she's going to want to grab the email today. There are a handful of people I've met in my life who just are dynamic, and I'm privileged to have known who they are, because they make things happen, and they really make things happen for the right reasons. And I have been blessed and privileged to know Rosa. She's taken on the statewide leadership role in terms of the overall picture of the University of Maine system, looking at how do students get into college, how do they succeed while they're there, and how do we get them to leave with a credential. And that's exactly the kind of discussion that we're going to have today on a local level. So I'm really excited that we have Rosa here to provide some statewide perspective and to kind of give us an inkling of what other discussions are happening around the state and what's coming up statewide and university system-wide. So I just introduced her to the class.